Right now, a call for stricter sanctions against Russia as forces inch closer to overtaking Ukraine's capital city. And a Milwaukee family is searching for answers after a man was found dead inside his jail cell. This is News 3 Now at noon. Good afternoon, I'm Mark Kane. Ukraine's capital city of Kyiv may soon fall to Russian forces as President Putin's troops continue to advance. Natalie Brand has the details as more call for even stricter sanctions on Russia.
Ukrainian soldiers were seen running through the streets of Kyiv as Russian forces entered the outskirts of the capital city. The Defense Ministry urged citizens to take shelter and prepare Molotov cocktails and take up arms to defend their city. Ukrainian officials say they downed Russian aircraft. But President Volodymyr Zelensky says attacks are targeting civilian buildings and says his country is left alone to defend itself. President Biden held a virtual meeting with NATO leaders Friday morning, a day after announcing severe sanctions targeting Russian banks, oligarchs, and their families, as well as high-tech exports. Western allies have also imposed their own sanctions, but there are bipartisan calls on Capitol Hill to go much farther.
We need people in London. We need the British government to step up with more targeted sanctions against Russian billionaires in their city.
I'd love to see Russia kicked out of the SWIFT transaction system.
President Biden says European allies are not yet ready to kick Russia out of the international banking system known as SWIFT that allows for money transfers around the globe. They also did not target Russia's energy sector, which is the largest driver of its economy.
Since we haven't hit that, I think that Vladimir Putin right now sees weakness on the part of the West.
A sentiment echoed by Ukraine's president, who says the response so far has not stopped Russia's invasion, which now threatens the country's capital. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And Russian President Putin gave a brief public remarks on Russian state television today, calling on Ukrainian soldiers to lay down their arms. There are growing fears the conflict in Ukraine will lead to another refugee crisis in Europe. The UN estimates more than 100,000 people have already left their homes as many try to find safety across Ukraine's borders. With lines of cars stretching for miles, many are fleeing on foot instead. UN agencies say fuel, cash, and medical supplies are running low in some parts of the country, which could prompt even more people to flee.
There are no winners in war, but countless lives will be torn apart.
Ukraine has restricted border access for men ages 18 to 60 in case they're needed to fight. Meanwhile, volunteers along the Romanian border are handing out hot drinks, bottled water, and food to people coming from Ukraine. Thousands of Ukrainians have already made their way to Romania, Moldova, Poland, Hungary, and Slovakia. We know there's a lot going on in Ukraine right now with new information coming in constantly. We're keeping track of all of those updates in a special section of channel3000.com. There you'll find the latest news from Ukraine and what the U.S. and its allies are doing. You can find that section right on the homepage. Just scroll down to Crisis in Ukraine. Let's head over to the Weather Center. Meteorologist Chris Reese has a look at your certified most accurate forecast. The sun sure feels good today.
Yeah, the sun does feel good, and that's helping to melt the snow that's been on those roadways. In addition, temperatures have begun to warm up. So this right here is I-3990 at Highway 14. I have been watching this particular spot all morning long, and I've watched this particular spot be completely snow covered, and now it's clear. The lanes that had patches of snow on them, those have cleared up as well. We're now standing at 22. We've got some light sunshine flurries flying outside right now. In fact, you look in some spots and it's almost like, man, the sun is out. I see blue sky, but flurries are coming down, and most of that's not even being picked up on the radar at all. It's a lot of low-level moisture well below the radar beam that's snowing out of our skies this morning, or this afternoon now, and that should come to an end here shortly. But that mix of sun and clouds continues. We'll see additional cloud cover trying to creep back in. Temperatures, though, should still top out right around 25. Mark, for the weekend, we're talking sunshine, mid-30s both days, Saturday and Sunday, but we also are going to break down part of next week coming up.
All right, we'll check back in a few minutes. Thank you, Chris. President Biden is choosing federal appeals court judge Ketanji Brown Jackson as his nominee for the Supreme Court. She's the first black woman ever nominated to the nation's highest court. Skylar Henry has more on this historic nomination from the White House.
Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson had long been considered the frontrunner ever since President Biden made a campaign promise to nominate a black woman to the nation's highest court.
It's long overdue in my view. I made that commitment during the campaign for president, and I will keep that commitment.
The 51-year-old appeals court judge is a Harvard Law School graduate who was a law clerk for Justice Stephen Breyer, the man she will now replace if confirmed.
She brings experience having been a district court judge and now a court of appeals judge for a brief time, and that is incredibly meaningful given the huge volume of cases where that sort of experience is really key.
Judge Jackson's experience as a former public defender would also be a first for the Supreme Court. It's experience that both she and President Biden have in common in their lengthy law careers.
We've seen a lot of folks who served as public defenders and civil rights lawyers be elevated under this administration because there have been far too few of folks with that sort of experience.
Judge Jackson is familiar with the confirmation process, having gone through it last year when she was nominated to the district court. This time around, the stakes are higher, with the reward of attaining a seat on the Supreme Court. Skyler Henry, CBS News, the White House.
And a new CBS poll shows 29% of Americans are enthusiastic about the president nominating a black woman to the Supreme Court. About another 35% say they're satisfied. Longtime Donald Trump ally Roger Stone is suing to keep the January 6th House Select Committee from seeing his cell phone records. The committee is seeking records including Stone's personal number, contacts, and call session times. He's not alone in taking legal action to fight the committee. More than 20 potential witnesses have sought to block the committee's pursuits of phone records by challenging the House's subpoena power in court. Madison police say they found guns, ammunition, cash, and drugs during a search warrant in a home in West Madison. Officers were serving a search warrant as part of a weapons offense investigation at a home in the 8300 block of Black Wolf Drive yesterday. They found 3 guns, a large amount of ammunition, as well as cash and drugs. 2 people were detained and charges are pending. Police say the investigation is ongoing. The State Assembly unanimously approved a bill yesterday that would fund a new youth prison in Milwaukee County. The $42 million project would replace the state's trouble facility in Irma. It's unclear where in Milwaukee County the prison would be built. The old facility would be converted into an adult institution. The family of a 20-year-old man who died in Milwaukee police custody are looking for answers. Kyiv Thomas was pulled over for a traffic violation and arrested for an outstanding warrant Wednesday morning. Later that night, during a cell check, he was found dead in his cell. According to Milwaukee Police Department standards, bookers are required to conduct visual cell block checks a minimum of 4 times an hour. Kishon's girlfriend says she spent hours Wednesday trying to get information on him and didn't find out he was dead until 9 p.m.
Like, did he get released because he's still not on a booking site? And they said it was still an ongoing investigation.
When Kyiv Thomas called his girlfriend from jail, he told her he had been pulled over for failing to use his turn signal. The investigation into his death inside a jail cell continues. Medical examiners have not yet confirmed his cause of death. Well, MASH film star and Oscar nominee Sally Kellerman has died. Kellerman's son says she died Thursday morning after a battle with dementia. Kellerman's acting career spanned more than 6 decades. She received an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress for her role in the movie MASH, where she played Major Margaret Hot Lips Houlihan. She also earned a Daytime Emmy nomination in 2015 for a guest appearance on The Young and the Restless. Sally Kellerman was 84 years old. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon.
A global round of economic sanctions is launched at Russia, and a smooth new drink from Pepsi. I'm Diane King Hall at the CBS Broadcast Center. I'll have those stories and more in your CBS Money Watch report.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon.
It's your last chance to get our very best deals of the season, including doorbusters up to 65% off. Plus, take bonus holiday discounts off our sale prices in-store and online. And interest-free financing for 5 years. The biggest President's Day sale in Wisconsin is on now at Ashley.
You're a hard worker. Provide for your family. Do good things in the community. Help out your neighbors. You've been there for so many others. Now, we're here for you. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. Apply now for a hand up.
In one instant, an accident can change your life. Gingras, Thompson & Walks has assembled the top award-winning personal injury lawyers to win the biggest settlements and awards for Wisconsin victims. If you've been injured, contact Gingras, Thompson & Walks for a free consultation.
Hello, it is definitely not macula. These are incredible.
Now you can get 2 pairs plus an eye exam and lens upgrade for $79.
That's such a good deal. I can't take it anymore. It is I, Macula.
Yeah, we know.
Unbeatable prices without the drama. At Stanton Optical, get 2 pairs, a free eye exam, and lens upgrade same day. Just $79.
Do you still want those glasses?
No!
Yes!
Some of us are just driven to succeed, to make it to the top and stay there. We drive towards success at everything we do. Always striving, fueled by passion, integrity, and work ethic. Because to us, success means accepting nothing less than being the best. And making sure you're surrounded by a team who is at the top of the leaderboard, like Hy-Vee.
Doing great, Jack.
Hy-Vee's commitment to excellence, their insistence on only the highest standards, and their drive to be the best means when it comes to fresh food, they know fresh. And here's a simple takeaway. If you think you can find any better, then you don't know Hy-Vee, and you don't know Jack.
It's your last chance to save at Furniture and Appliance Mart's President's Day blowout sale. Millions of dollars worth of inventory in stock and ready to go. All with no interest financing for 18 months. No one in Wisconsin has appliance offers like these at Furniture and Appliance Mart inside Ashley of Madison.
President Biden has unleashed sweeping economic sanctions against Russia after its invasion of Ukraine. The president announced the U.S. is targeting Russia's largest banks, freezing every asset they have in America. New sanctions also include blocks on technology, which would cap Russia's ability to conduct military operations. The EU and other allies hit Russia with new sanctions today. The number of Americans signing up for unemployment benefits fell to the lowest level since 1970. According to the Labor Department, first-time filings for weekly jobless claims fell by 17,000 to 232,000 last week. That marks the third week of falling claims after a jump in January due to the spread of the Omicron variant. The Justice Department has filed a lawsuit to stop United Health's acquisition of Change Healthcare. The government argues that $13 billion deal would harm competition by putting too much healthcare claims information in the hands of one company. And it looks like a pint, but it's not. Pepsi is out with the first of its kind cola infused with nitrogen instead of carbon dioxide. Dubbed Nitro Pepsi, it will come in 2 flavors, Draft Cola and Vanilla Draft Cola. The new beverage is set to hit store shelves March 28th. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Diane Kinghall.
Diane, thank you. Let's check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrials up 781 points. The NASDAQ up 181 points. The S&P 500 up 83. Well, gas prices have been on the rise over the past year, and now Russia's invasion of Ukraine is expected to fuel more increases. The national average is up 24 cents in just the past month, and prices are expected to go higher. Experts say prices could stabilize if other oil-rich nations ramp up production.
We also have strategic stockpiles of oil that we can use in emergencies, and we are likely to tap those stockpiles to try to put more oil on this market and bring down prices.
Even if that happens, prices are still expected to climb as the summer driving season approaches. If you have a Honda CR-V or a Honda Accord, listen up. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is investigating complaints about brake issues. This is for CR-Vs from 2017 to 2019 and the 2018 to 2019 Accords. The concern has to do with automatic emergency brakes, with reports that the braking can happen unnecessarily without the driver touching the brake pedal. Still ahead, Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report is back with a look at today's ag numbers. Plus, the snow from yesterday may not be staying around very long. Chris has your complete forecast when we come back.
Earn a 30-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver for every $60 you spend. That's a 30-cent fuel saver. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Scan the QR code or check out HyVeeDeals.com for more deals.
At McGann Furniture in Baraboo, we know that hardworking people want the most value for their money. When you shop at McGann, we've already sorted out and selected the brands that we feel offer you the most bang for your buck. From young couples just starting out to senior citizens, we offer a huge selection at prices that will fit your budget. Plus, most purchases include free delivery and setup. And remember, at McGann, we don't raise our prices only to lower them later for a sale. Discover the difference at McGann Furniture in downtown Baraboo.
From working out to catching up, and of course, game night, your home is the groundwork for all of life's awesome moments. This is Tom Coyle. My family and I say thank you. We're proud to have been a part of this community for 77 years. And during our 77th anniversary event, carpet installation is just $77. Coyle Carpet One Floor and Home. Beautiful, made affordable. Locally owned and operated since 1945.
If you stutter on the phone, speech-to-speech is for you.
Hi, Nihada. This is Andy Smith, and I was calling to see if our home loan has been approved.
A specially trained operator revoices a conversation to the person on the other end of the line.
Hi, Nihada. This is Andy Smith, and I was calling to see if our home loan has been approved.
Oh, Andy, we have great news. You've been approved for the full amount.
To learn more about speech-to-speech relay service, go to wisconsinrelay.com.
Earn a 30-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver for every $60 you spend. That's a 30-cent fuel saver. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Scan the QR code or check out HyVeeDeals.com for more deals.
Saturday morning, we'll meet a man that can craft poems of any sort in just a matter of minutes. Plus, we'll have the latest on when we may see our next snowfall. Julie and Seawright will time it out in your certified most accurate forecast Saturday at 5 and 8.
Weather satellites are our weather eyes in the sky. The next weather satellite is ready for launch, and much of its development and weather information comes from right here in Madison.
The UW has been involved in this since the very, very beginning.
See what goes into the GOES-T satellite, Sunday at 10.
The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Let's check in now with Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report. A different story on Wall Street today from yesterday.
Boy, isn't that the truth? Well, your numbers are going one way. My farm numbers, my ag numbers are going in the opposite direction. Obviously, everybody is cued in completely on the Russian invasion. You know, there's a couple things that we're working on here. You know, those farmers are not that far from spring planting in the Ukraine. 70% of their land is arable, so there's a lot of agriculture that happens there. How do you plant if there's a war ongoing? Do you plant? Supply chain issues are facing those farmers just like they're going to be facing our farmers here in the United States. The big conversation topic that's getting a lot of attention right now is the disruption in shipping and also the fact that Russia is a major supplier to the world as far as fertilizer. That's the big one that everybody's buzzing about. Most all of our major international grain suppliers, businesses, Cargill, Bunge, ADM, they've all closed down their offices in both Russia and the Ukraine. And I know that at least one cargo ship from Cargill got hit by apparently some kind of aircraft bomb or something like that in the Black Sea. I guess the ship is still seaworthy, but obviously that has turned around all other ships. So a lot of disruption all the way around that we're going to have to keep an eye on. On a positive side, I bring to you good news that the Wisconsin FFA Foundation has found their new executive director. She is Abby Quinlan, former member of the Delavan-Darien FFA. She's going to take over as the new FFA Foundation executive director March 1st. Today in Chicago, barrel cheese dropped a nickel down to $1.90. 40-pound block cheese down 7 1/4 at $1.94.5. 40-pound block cheese, or shall I say, double-A butter today down 7 1/2 at $2.58 3/4. What the market giveth, the market taketh away today, Mark. That's for sure.
Yeah, that is for sure. A roller coaster ride. Well, enjoy the weekend.
You too.
Regroup on Monday.
Yep.
All right, here's Chris now with the weekend forecast.
Yeah, the weekend going to be pretty nice for us. We're already starting to see some of the nicer weather really start to move back into the picture. And one of the things I've been trying to watch are road conditions across the state. And this one, again, not wanting to load up for us. Sometimes it pops right on up, and sometimes it takes a little bit of a moment. But we've really started to see an improvement in those road conditions here throughout parts of south central Wisconsin. And that improvement is just going to continue. Hey, here it is. It just popped up for us. The road condition improvement is going to continue as we push forward. You're seeing a lot more green. That means go. Things are all smooth for us. Where you're seeing the blues, that's where things are a little snow covered in some spots, and then you have your slippery stretches. But it's all going to get better as we continue to look forward. Again, this is I-3990 over Highway 14, which continues to improve for us. And where I had you use caution this morning, we are now going to be all set as we start to move towards that evening commute. In fact, I talked about this morning being snow covered. Lunchtime right now, we'd start to clear things up, and that's exactly what we're seeing. We move towards this evening commute, and I really do expect things to be all clear. Still seeing a couple of light flurries out there. We're at 22 now. Once we've gotten over 18, that salt's really effective, especially with the sun beating down on the blacktop. More people out driving, that's creating that friction that's going to help continue to melt that snow. 25 in Janesville right now. Wisconsin Dells, you're at 22. It's still 19 in Viroqua, 21 for our friends in Lone Rock right now. We put this into motion again. We'll top out right around 25 today. We will cool down to 9 overnight tonight. Another night in the single digits with clear skies and a fresh snowpack. I wouldn't be surprised if we get even just a little bit cooler. The one thing fighting that is that our winds are going to be out of the south and west. That southwest wind is what's going to help push our temperatures into the mid and maybe even some upper 30s for tomorrow. But I am forecasting temperatures into the middle 30s. Here's our cold. We always watch the upper air pattern here, at least when I'm doing the weather. That's what I love to do. Watch how the core of the cold starts to work its way farther to the north and east. Our cold actually relaxes somewhat next week, but by the end of next week, watch what the pattern tries to do again. We see cold trying to build into the northern plains. Your jet stream goes over the south and west and starts to angle itself towards the Great Lakes. This is once again one of those storm patterns that at least tries to send some storm systems our direction. Here's model number 1. It actually has a storm system towards the end of the week. This run of the model wants to show it starting as snow. I'm not quite sure I buy that. I'm leaning more towards starting out as a rainmaker with how I see the pattern showing up. But this same one has another system that follows that one up as we start to move towards early next week. Model number 2, a little bit on the warmer side, a little bit more in line with what I'm thinking, though it's delayed a bit. Starting things out as rain, maybe a couple of flakes on the backside as things begin to wrap up. But it also does have a secondary system coming out of the south and west as we start to move towards Sunday into Monday. So Monday beyond the 10-day period. So once we get towards day 11, that might be a day of interest that we've got to watch. But the reality is, beyond today, it's quiet. It's relatively mild, 40 for Monday, 42 by next Friday with those chances for rain. And we'll just see how weather shakes out. But we're moving into that part of the year that we all call sprinter.
Meteorological spring is Tuesday, right?
Yeah, that is when meteorological spring starts. And then astronomical spring, well, still some weeks away.
Sprinter.
Yep, sprinter.
We'll take it. Thanks, Chris. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, Howard ends the week with a quiz in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
If I were to ask you what your favorite cuisine is, what would it be? I'll give you a moment to think about it, and then let's meet right back here, and I'll share mine.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Are you ready to make junk disappear?
I am so looking forward to this.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point. Any first item removed, just $89.
Water is one of nature's most beautiful and life-sustaining resources. At no fault of their own, many Wisconsin utility customers are facing a shutoff to their water service. This leaves them without the one life-giving resource we all take for granted. And those hardest hit are on fixed incomes, juggling multiple temporary jobs, or those who lost full-time jobs in sectors hardest hit by the pandemic. If someone you care about needs a hand up, your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your water, heat, and power on. If you are in danger of losing your water service, call 833-H2O-WISC, 833-426-9472. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
Guys, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction, Peak Performance for Men has a natural solution that can help you today. That's right. Stop wasting money on pills and inferior technology that hurts and just masks your ED. Fix it for good. The best part, our ED treatment is non-invasive, painless, and you can get back to your natural functionability after just a few short in-office sessions. Call us today and mention this ad, and your initial consultation is free. We are Madison's trusted specialist and only national erectile dysfunction provider. Call Peak Performance for Men today.
Save on your fave at the Century House. Right now, get $200 off stressless signature base recliners, classic base recliners with power, and new stressless cross base recliners. Or get a free accessory with purchase. It's time for stressless. Shop the Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
Are you ready to make junk disappear?
I am so looking forward to this.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point. Any first item removed? Just $89.
If you were to ask me what my favorite type of food is, Italian would certainly be on the top of my list. I mean, how can you go wrong with foods like pasta, hearty casseroles, and pizza? My neighbor recently introduced me to one new favorite called Brigiole. It's so good, I'd like to share our version of it with you. It might even become your new Italian favorite. To make it, we start by placing thinly sliced top sirloin steak on a cutting board. Since we want this to be pretty thin, we gently pound it out with a meat mallet. Now for the filling, we combine some Italian breadcrumbs, Romano or Parmesan cheese, some chopped Genoa salami, a couple of eggs, and a bit of black pepper. This gets spread onto each steak, and then we roll them up. After securing each one with a toothpick, we saute them in a soup pot in a bit of olive oil until they're evenly browned. Then we add some jarred sauce and let them simmer until they're tender. Brigiole sounds like something you'd make at a fancy cooking school in Naples, but the truth is, it's super easy. To get our version of Brigiole, which we call Italian beef roll-ups, all you have to do is visit our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found an old world way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, thank you, Howard. Here's Chris, one final check your forecast.
All right, so we are starting to see more sunshine, but we're going to see cloud cover filter back in too. It's a variably cloudy day. Still seeing some of those flurries out there, but road conditions are really improving now that we've gotten those temperatures above 18 degrees. 34 for your Saturday. That, combined with a high sun angle, we'll probably see quite a bit of melting. 34 on Sunday as well. 40 on Monday, close to it for Tuesday and Wednesday. And then we'll actually see a system that moves our direction by the end of next week. That can bring some rain and snowflakes. We are in this time of the year that I just called sprinter, where you're starting to warm up, but you get a lot more mixed precipitation events that roll through as well.
All right, enjoy the weekend. Thank you, Chris. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here at 4 o'clock. Have a great afternoon.